Hello, nice to see everyone. Here recording this end of July 2024, getting ready for a launch of What's New in Speak, August 2024 edition. And we've got some great things to go over today. I'm Tyler Bryden. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Speak. We'll go around the table with some intros here, and then we'll jump right into it.
Hello, this is Vatsall, co-founder and CTO at Speak. Very excited about the updates today for this month and happy to share more.
Hello, everyone. My name is Arya, the business development executive here at Speak AI. Happy to be here and excited to share some of the updates with you.
Who's Speak AI? Who are we? If you're working with your language data, one of our goals here, and we've seen this play out many times over, is save time, save money. We've seen 80% plus, sometimes up to 99% in cost and time savings, especially if you're doing deeper analysis on this language data, your focus groups, your interviews, your survey data. And we continue to push that forward to make the platform easier to use, more efficient to use, and just also more enjoyable. So some of the changes that we're going through here today, I think speak directly to that experience. And the teams using Speak continue to grow with some great organizations on this slide and using the system all the time. So August 2024, this was interesting. We had actually sent a survey out, and what we had wanted to do was get some feedback from some people, and we're directionally asking, hey, what do you want to see next in the platform? What are you looking to get improved? And we thought we were going to get a bunch of requests around AI and all this crazy stuff. But the consensus response was, we're using Speak, we're doing audio and video within Speak, we're transcribing it, we're editing speakers, we want to see improved accuracy of those transcripts. How can you help us with those core fundamental pieces of the platform? And so we spent several of the last months working on those changes, those improvements based on your requests. So again, if you ever have them, send us a message, because we take them seriously and we love helping out. And a lot of those changes are now live and pushed into production for you to now interact with. So that's what we're going to be primarily going over today. Basically, huge improvements to the core sort of transcription, speaker editing, how you interact with the data. Anything to add on this point?
Out of 10, I would say 6.5 to 7 are like more aligned towards the similar part where they want the streamlined workflow for the transcription, because that's the core part. And like you could do a lot more once you have the transcription properly aligned. That could be find and replace, remove filler words, have the speaker aligned properly. Not only that, but also having the access to the word by word timestamp rather than the sentences, because that could be also a huge time saving, which we'll talk about in a minute here. But in conclusion, it's more centralized around the transcription, which is like very obvious for us to get it right and get it improved for that. And I think we have achieved it. We are here today to talk about those updates, and super proud about the team to get this executed rightly.
Okay, beautiful. Then let's get into it. We'll avoid delay here. The first one we're going to talk about is this custom vocabulary idea. Why does this matter? People are relying on transcription of their audio and video files. Accuracy is super important, whether you're doing manual analysis using AI or a combination of those two. The accuracy of the transcript really has a lot of downstream consequences for the success of that work. And so, continuously, we've wanted to help people improve the accuracy of their transcript. One of the core ways you can do this with speech recognition systems today is creating a keyword, phrase, seed list that helps you train that engine, so that if you are working with a speech recognition system, you can actually improve the accuracy. So we got a couple examples here. Very simple interface, and we'll walk through this in a second. Basically, you can drop those keywords, drop those phrases, put them in, save them for the language that you're interested in improving, and immediately you're going to see some improvements. These are not just simple words that you're seeing in transcripts. There may be industry specific vocabulary, mentions of brands, mentions of people, things that are not as mainstream, and you're seeing these inaccuracies. That's you're a big proponent of this build. Anything that you want to add?
I think we use the best transcription language models available to the users. And at the end, it also still brings up to the accuracy to get it right. Again, that is around very specific technical terms or very specific unique terms, which are very uncommon that this transcription language model are being built upon. And always there could be very specific, for example, Speak AI, but AI could be trained on this specific word. So having that said, in English and French, that's what we are available right now. But not only that, but in English, what we are also doing is like defining into the different accent. Initially, the confusion was like, okay, should we go on English or English accent? But even English India and English US, just for an example, or even English Canada, there are certain words in sometimes could be defined differently, and like people just wanted to utilize the way they want to, because when they upload the transcription, we allow not to just choose English, but choose with the accent from the country. So that's provide a very granular level transcription analysis. And again, to improve that, this is the best approach we have taken.
Yeah, perfect. And we're, yeah, as Vatsall meant, rolling out for all English and French and their sub regions slash accents. So we can improve that on a very granular basis. And you've got up to 100 words or phrases per language. And so what does this actually look like in the platform? We have a little area profile overview, very simple. And we have basically this vocabulary preferences option here. So enter up to 100 entries of unique words. Single characters are just a number. So we don't allow you to do long phrases. It's not recommended. It's not even feasible to do. And then we also gave some tips on the type of words and things that you would actually put in. At a very simple level, you can see that I've already got a couple of these in here. Speak AI Inc. and literally hit save. If we go same thing, you can see again all those sub-regions available. Arya, you've got some French in you, I believe. Any French words that we need some training on here?
I'm not quite sure what I can say, but for example, V would be one of them, which is like city. It's spelled VILLE. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right. That is a good example. And I can literally hit that save button and that is now populated. This list of vocabulary that you have created will now be sent along with your transcript to improve that accuracy. Vil is an example of that. And then you can see company name, people names, but it can go as deep as you want. And really a great system if you see a transcript come in, you see something that wasn't accurate, allowing you to jump in here right away and make those changes. Our goal in the end, get you as accurate transcripts as possible, as quickly as possible, most cost effective as possible, and then let you do the analysis again through human means or through AI means to get the best results. Absolutely. Beautiful. Then let's continue on. I'm teasing it, jumped into the next slide here already, and we'll do a live demo of this too. But basically is this idea of improved speaker editing. And so this was not a tumultuous task, but I think this was something that we really wanted to improve and allow you to have that editing of speakers in the main media screen. There is still the dedicated edit portal that you can unlock with the edit transcript click, but the speaker editing is now very quick and on that main screen, which is great. I'll let Vatsall jump in, is that we are really storing the list of speakers that you've labeled in the past. So if you're trying to say, hey, here's speaker one, who is this person? You can start to type and you'll see a list of suggestions based on previous data.
Sure. So again, for the speakers, by default, any transcription engine and the modules will be labeled as into the numeric representation from 1 to 100 or 1 to 200, depends on the how many speakers are there into the video file. But at the end, the naming convention is very crucial and important. Just a note, if you're using the meeting assistant, you don't see the speaker are labeled as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be labeled as, let's say, for example, I'm speaking, and that will be labeled as a correct name. But in many cases, like a lot of files are pre-uploaded to the speak or being used through the recorder, and that needs to be properly aligned. And I guess, Tyler, you already mentioned that the workspace, the ecosystem is already there, has your own unique space for transcript editing experience. But this is like more smooth, more quicker, and also improve the UI of the transcription as well. Like, again, seeing your face, seeing your name make more sense to also jump over quickly to those segments.
Exactly. And I think as you know, as mentioned there's a couple pieces, which first of all, maybe there's a little bit of narcissism involved there, but nice to see everyone's faces. I think that's a great addition. And if I want to edit speakers, really, I'm now in the edit module here. This is Arya in this case, but you can see, hey, great. Here's a list of previous people that we have actually added in the system. If I want to change this and we decide that Arya is now Lauren, I can click on that. Basically, one, say there's a little bit of cutoff in the speech recognition system, maybe attributes it wrongly, but it's only in one spot, then you can actually hit only this, or you can do the yes all, and it will actually apply across all. I'll be able to switch it back, obviously, very quickly too, if I want, but you can now see those changes. And wherever Arya looks like he wasn't speaking that much there, here he was, appears. And if I hit save, I can now hit save, and basically we are good to go. You can see that the speaker is updated successfully. And I think an important note here is that, and don't worry, I will change you back rightfully to your to you, but this now actually processing this document. So if you are interacting with the AI, what's great about this is the speaker's name will now be updated, and you'll be able to then analyze that data with those speakers in mind. Vatsall, anything else that you want to touch on here?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of pieces. One is when a user wants to interact with AI, there's like most of the times like there are not updated transcription, not updated speakers, and that creates a latency, or that creates the wrong output of the questionnaire or generating the summary, because the speaker labels are not appropriately labeled. So to streamline that process, again, a lot of things happen on the back end, which could be nicely done on the UI with the emoji here, where you can see that it's into the loading state. But now all the speaker being spoken and the transcription are being updated to be available for the AI. And it's like the big infrastructure being set up on the back end to handle that, and glad to see it's worked smoothly. And the second is also you can just go ahead and click on the speaker name to start editing as well, to improve basically the efficiency there. And also like search and add, which is like the same function. So if you are trying to add the duplicate speaker on plus search or add, it won't logically allow you to do that, and like you can just assign to the speaker. And the one more thing I'll just attach to this string is that, like, when you see the real name, this real name are coming from the speaker accounts. Either they are your team members or they have the account on speak. So what does this bring is, like, when you're going to do the filter, when you're going to apply more on the exploration inside layer side, it will allow you to do with the name and with your team members as well. So that helps a lot there. And this is what you're seeing is like allowing a speaker name from the scratch, where the speaker 0 and speaker 1 are there.
And just wanted to show also a file where we didn't actually have speakers labeled there already, and you can see how quick that is. So again, maybe this seems a somewhat minor change, but that could take your transcription editing. Maybe it takes you 5 minutes previously. It takes you down to only a couple seconds. And those are big efficiency gains when you're actually spending time in the application. You're working with the data along with that updating of speakers to then interact with the analysis work that you're doing. Arya, you're mentioned you're back slotted into the right position here. Anything else that you want to mention around speaker editing? I know you're obviously working with some teams dealing with a lot of audio and video. Any notes before we jump on to the next piece?
No, the only point that I was going to mention is that our customers really wanted the idea of having a speaker, which is now available.
A great point. And Vatsall also mentioned the downstream consequences, where if you have your speakers organized very nicely, there's a lot of great things you can do with filter and analysis, which is what we're spending some of our time on this month, and it is super exciting.
I just want to share my screen to just have perspective on what was there and what is it now. This is something around the UI used to look like. Again, I know we are talking about 2020, which is like what is 1.x, which is 1.6 or 1.7 something. As we came a long way from displaying just the transcription and the timestamp line by line to like nicely labeled transcription layer. And just like the version 0 for the transcription, we have something initiated from this, which was from a scratch to build up the transcription engine. So glad that, there are many users who are still using from 2019 and 2020, seeing them experiencing this new interface with the nicely labeled editing experience, transcription, and the next point you are going to talk about, which is all connected. So I just wanted to set the stage up for the next point.
Yeah, and I think that is another crucial one here that we're very happy to see, which now I'll click on this. And basically what we're looking at here right now is word by word timestamping. And again, seems like maybe a minor update, but has huge consequences for the experience in the application. And this was compared to what Vatsall just had on the screen, this sentence by sentence, where if you wanted to say jump to an exact moment, we were displaying and getting the data in this sentence chunk. So if it was a long sentence, you could want to click to a specific moment, but you have to wait for 10 seconds to get to that moment because of the sentence length. That's no longer an issue. You can see the words being highlighted in real time, just on a one-to-one basis. And if I want to click to, for example, Arya here, it's going to jump to that exact moment. So again, this idea of these minor little changes really adding to some compounding efficiency in the system. And we've heard this over and over again when we are reviewing transcripts and trying to jump to exact moments, and just trying to improve that overall experience, because this is where people like you are spending most of the time in the application, and we want to make that better for you.
One part is to display the word by word timestamp, but there are also the downstream pieces which has been affected now. So Tara, for a second, if you turn on the camera from the audio player there and go to the captions section, and if you enable the English caption, so now I don't know if we have some of the reference before, but this used to be a long form of sentences because that's the only timestamp we have the access to. What has changed? This will be into the 2 lines up to 35 to 40 words, which is the standardized captions format supported by on any platform, and is, I would say, required mandatory for the better captions experience. So this has been also connected with your captions. It's also connected when you export the SRT and VTT file to deploy on somewhere else. And even when you share this media player or the repository, and when your audience is watching this video, it's also being nicely captions throughout the media player as well. Just a couple of other things, like many times when you see the caption which are maybe auto-generated, those goes continuously even when the speaker change, even when there's a pause. However, with the speak captions, you will see the caption will be changing as soon as this new speaker started appearing on the transcription. So a lot of, I would say, nitty-gritty details being taken care while building not just the timestamp on the speaker, but also for the captions to allow you to export to display on the media player.
Beautiful. Yes. Great to hear all of the downstream improvements on that. And still, there's a subsection of you who are using Speak for captioning. And we're very happy to see those improvements, because I know we were giving you some big sentences at some points in the past. So big change there. Really, I'm going to add that as a dedicated little note in the email update for everyone who receives this about the captions, because I do think that is important. And then I just wanted to go over some other product updates that are live for you here in August 2024. So just hit these off one by one.
So there are a couple of changes being made on the CSV files being used for the text file and media files, but we have seen a couple of failures coming up in a way where a user wants to map a big, large CSV file which contains 148 columns, which is a big file. However, what we would like to have is the name of the file and the text you want to analyze. Rest is all your meta details you could map with the fields. What are fields? Fields are the custom key value pair which you can map to your media file. This fields will work as your meta details of the file, and you can utilize in many different ways. However, the more crucial important part is to the name of the note, which could be, let's say, the full name. I just wanted to map it. And the text could be, again, this is just the dummy data. So I just wanted to say something here as a text to analyze. Once this is good to go, hey, your file is ready to map to the CSV file with all the records. You don't need to worry about if you don't want to map any other meta fields below. Again, if you just want to map it, the create field is here. You can map it directly right from here. I think we should give a plus button here to create the field on click, because we already know the field name, we already know the type of the field, and that should auto create for a user, and it should be available to this drop down rather than going here and mapping. That's just idea on the call. But the improvement has been made is just to have the required field map for the end user rather than worrying about, what to do with 148 columns.
Beautiful. And yeah, and if you have CSVs that you're trying to analyze, we go through on the last call, July 2024, what's new, and speak around the CSV instant analysis. And you can look at that versus the text note upload flow that Vatsall was just showing you there. And there's some nice description of maybe when is best for what option, depending on what you're trying to accomplish there. So I will touch on this idea of pricing introduced for text notes. Really what we're just trying to see is we're seeing a ramping up of text notes notes in the system, people continuing to use it. And so we've just added a very customizable, same mantra that we've always had for Speak: only pay for what you need. And what we're looking at is basically this idea of $1 per 1,000 notes. And that allows you to create, store, analyze that data within Speak in a very affordable way while getting a ton of value. We're happy to see you uploading text into the system there. If you're creating a recorder, we're seeing people create a ton of recorders. And what we had just wanted to allow you to see was, where is your data actually flowing to? And maybe you've only got one or two, but we're now seeing people with hundreds of recorders. So helping them manage that a little bit further. If you hadn't seen that, there is also this clone recorder idea, which is a great way to expedite the creation of those recorders. We've released that in a previous month. And then the other piece, when you're in that folder view, we introduced Bread last month so that you can easily jump back to where you are, but you can also now see who that folder is shared with. Maybe it's not a big one if you're just managing a couple, but we're continuing to see teams scale within Speak. And so giving them that visibility on who is in what folder and how that's been shared has been a continued request, and very happy to deliver that. Now, one last note is basically this idea of meeting summaries. And so if you sign up with Speak and you are specifically using meeting transcription and summarization as the onboarding goal, we're actually going to create this instant summary automation for you, summarize that meeting, and really set you up for success. Now, if you're not using the meeting assistant, don't worry. You don't have to worry if you didn't specifically sign up with that goal. The automation is still there and you can turn it on very quickly. And if you are not even doing that, you always have the ability to just chat directly in Speak here at any time. In this case, we had run a little analysis, but you can continue that conversation. We've got a couple pieces that we're working on here. Vatsall, anything you want to touch on? Any other related, other product updates? What's coming next? Anything else that you're thinking here?
I think there are more also I would say the minor updates along with these are like the very high level stuff, which is PayPal integration for allowing a user to have the another method where we use Stripe. And there are certain times like which are could be the transaction could be blocked due to the radar rules and so on. It's like allowing someone to pay using the another method. It's always a useful, and the opens up basically a module where a user can pay to use Speak. Slack integration, we talk about a bit in the past as well, which allow you to send the customized notification as soon as the transcription is ready, insights are ready, the player is ready, the AI responses are ready. So a much more customizable nature, which gives you the nudge as soon as the transcription ready to your team. And I kept this one at the last, which is automatic comparison of the data, which includes a lot of layer. And like you spent a lot of time in this week, let you go more in detail if you want to, or we can.
Yeah, I think they'll hope to have a more
Yeah.
formal release there, but I think great people are you are uploading data into Speak, but you're trying to expedite that analysis. And a lot of times it comes to, hey, I've got a bunch of people in interviews who fit this profile, and then I've got a bunch who fit this profile. What's the similarities and what's the differences between these two, and how can we quantify that, and how can we present that back to stakeholders? And so really working on that process over the next month, I think, with some of these great core fundamental functionality improvements that we're documented today, this ties into a little bit more of an extension of this idea of sharing or creating more value out of this unstructured information. And we've really built on a lot of great layers there. Arya here, maybe do a little call to action for the end. And if you have anything else that you want to share just on the month or anything that you're thinking, feel encouraged to take a moment to do that.
Sure. I just want to mention to everyone that if you need any assistance into figuring out like how Speak benefit you and your business, feel free to book a demo. I will be there to help you evaluate our service and our product, as well as to guide you into this world of AI, because every day there is something new. There is a new product, there's new features. So if you need help with figuring out if Speak is the right solution for you, feel free to book a session, and I will be more than happy to walk you through and answer any questions that you might have. And I'm very excited about how far the platform has come. Like the screenshots that showed me, I personally have never seen those user interfaces before. But if you log into your Speak account right now, I promise you, you're not going to see that many bright green colors anymore. And the platform looks much better, and as well as lots of amazing functionalities that will benefit you in order to save time and money. Tyler said in the beginning, We have seen many customers say that they're saving more than 80% in time and money and resources. In some cases, even more than 99%. So feel encouraged to book a session, and I will be more than happy to walk you through Speak.
Yeah, and Arya's had to be forced to become a product expert every single week, month with the updates and changes, and he's a great resource there. And I think, there's a great technology layer that works very closely with the people who are using our system, but at core level, we partner and work quite closely with a lot of people and are always here and happy to help. So with that in mind, and we talked a little bit about this, the text note pricing, similar thing with really the system as a whole. We really wanted to allow you to build the plan to your needs, very customizable based on the length of period, what volume of data you're actually analyzing, and even the functionality that you need in the system. So the link's there, click on that at any time, visit. We got a little campaign or offer that we're running right now. If you leave us a 5-star review, we're happy to put a $25 credit on your account. Just leave us that review. Make sure that it's accurate and honest. Like, only feel like this if it's called and you've actually had that great experience on Speak. But this is really important to help more people find us and to continue to boost the presence of Speak so we can grow the user and customer base, continue to reinvest in the product and make it better for you at a core level. You can do that. You can respond to this email, which is where you're going to get it, or shoot us a message on live chat. And if we can see the review, we're happy to put that credit in. And then lastly, there are over 2,000 affiliates right now. And I actually sent a bunch of them money yesterday. I love sending them money. I never feel bad about that. It means that they've recommended Speak to someone. That person got the solution that they were looking for. The partner made some money. And of course, we did here too. We've got a great new customer that we can work with. We went up from 25% to 30% on that commission. You can hit the link there and you can start earning very quickly. So that brings us to the end for what's new in Speak August 2024 edition. Some great core advancements and functionality live for you. And of course, this will continue next month, the last month of summer. Crazy how quickly this is going by. Any closing notes from you two before we wrap this session up and end the recording?
That's wonderful. I think if you're watching, if you're listening, log into your account. If you don't have an account, register on Speak, try today. And just being said, I hope to see Tyler and Arya standing next time for the next product update. So just kidding. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone.
I'll get out of this basement for the next one and I'll be standing. So Arya, you're good on your side?
Yes, all good. I just want to thank everyone for watching this. And as I mentioned before, feel free to reach out if you have any questions or you just want to have a chat, of course, about AI or Speak.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for checking this
Thank
out.
you,
Hope you
everyone.
have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you next month. Bye-bye.